Yo, what's up? Old school law back again. I don't even know what episode this is, but it's going to be a fun one. I'm excited about it. And with me right now is my co pilot, Wolfman.
What's up, homies?
We got in the upper left hand corner over there, my boy, Mushroom Shirt Whales.
What it do?
And then down in the dessert position today is Winbush.
What up? What up?
All right, so hey, thanks you guys for hanging out. I'm excited about this. As you can see, I'm super hyped. But Wolfman, and you know what? It might be just hyped because I'm just excited to see you. The subject is a little bit more on the, I don't know. I'm excited about the subject too. I'm happy to have a conversation about this. Wolfman, what are we talking about again tonight?
All right, so it's good and bad, right? So, unless you're living under a rock, you know that the gaming industry is changing minute by minute. There's so many bombshells that are going on. It's absurd. And most of it, honestly, is bad, especially if you are trying to get into the retro gaming scene today, because you're going to find out that it's very pricey. But those of us that have been in the game for a long time, you could look at your game collecting apps and you could see your games going up like good stocks on the stock market, like NASDAQ or something, because every time I log on I mean, my collection's going up hundreds of dollars every day. It's insane. It's insane. So it's a great time if you have lots of retro games, and it's a bad time if you're trying to get into that scene right now because everything is so much money. I think people are turning to buying old games that they could own and play and have fun with. Nobody wants to, buy digital games, and it's not, they don't own them, they can't borrow them, they can't trade them. It's just, I think people are kind of catching on. A lot of people that's not cool, man. They want ownership. And not everybody, of course, because there is a good amount of people that still like their digital stuff. They like that instant gratification, want to hit power, turn on the game, it's on. They got their whole catalog right in front of them. They don't have to hook up a old console to a TV. So, I think this conversation is going to be great because it could go in a lot of different directions tonight, and I'm pretty excited about it. So,
Yeah, and the cool thing too is, this is we're to talk about the physical media in general. Gaming is a big part of that, of course, but it could be all kinds of physical media. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are looking at vinyl now and CDs and DVDs,
sure.
even VHS. Holy crap, VHS! Like, really, it's just it's
Mhm.
amazing. And also I would say the negative part that you just touched on, Wolfman. I think a lot of that has to do with really where you're getting the information from. Because guess what? The internet makes it's like a shock thing. If you haven't noticed that, if you've been watching anything on the internet, people talking about all the stuff that's happening with physical media, it's like the sky is falling consistently. Like it's who can come up with the craziest, like eye-catching, weird, negative, thumbnail and all that kind of stuff, which to me is just not what this is about. But here's the problem: is that people will click on it. So, and
Mhm.
that's why they're doing
Okay.
it. And that's content creators. I understand a little bit about why they're doing that to a certain extent to get views, but I'm not that way. And I think all of us in this channel that are on here right now are not that way. So it's almost upsetting to us because that's not how it should be. We should be having dialogue and all this stuff and not just complaining constantly about stuff. Now, there are some things, right? But it's I don't know. But what I want to see is like us, we have different ways of looking at things, and I really want to bring a special guest in right now that is definitely going to have a bit of a different take on physical media versus digital media, and I'm excited to have him on here. And our special guest should be coming up into Wolfman's window at some point anytime here soon, maybe in the near future, in a couple of seconds. There we are.
Hey.
Introduce yourself, my friend.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Lobo Sack YT. The only reason I have a hat on is because I'm doing a face reveal, so I'm not really going to be trying to show my face right now. But yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule as well. I know you're super busy. All right. So the question I have for you, the question I have is, what does physical media mean to you? Mainly, I'm asking this question because your dad is so big into physical media itself, but you're of a different generation that you're used to the digital portion. So when I ask you, what does physical media mean to you? What do you have to say about that?
Uh, well, my dad, he has a lot of games, and honestly, I basically grew up in the household where my dad collected a bunch of physical copies of video games and stuff. So I'm really used to physical, and it's kind of like part of me because me and my dad play a lot of physical copy games, discs, and yeah. So it kind of sucks though making everything digital now.
Yeah, but give me your impression and idea on what are the pros to digital, because I know that you do play some digital games with your friends. So what are the pros to you as the younger generation, the upcoming leaders of the whole United States that are going to be there? Tell me why what does the digital portion mean to you?
There's a lot of digital that mean a lot. I mean, well, I shouldn't say most. There's a lot of games out there that are digital and like not disc related. Some of them I play like a lot, and in my opinion, there's a lot of pros to them, and there's most, yeah, probably same amount of cons to them. But I, in my opinion, I don't know. People can have different opinion. I like both physical and digital. Like I like both of them the same meaning. I mean, if I had to pick, I would rather probably pick like physical copies. But yeah, I think digital's fine in my opinion.
So
Why?
I was going to say, so what I hear you saying is that both are good and it's nice to have options. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yeah,
So
basically, yeah.
so what do you think about them saying, "Oh, by the way, you don't need this option anymore"?
I don't really like that. It's kind of because when you had both of them, you had multiple. You had both either option to play, and they're taking away, and that kind of sucks. So I'm kind of annoyed with that option they did.
Awesome. Well, give us another, thank you for taking time. Give us another shout out about your channel. Make sure you speak clearly so the audience can hear you, and then tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and then just be off, my friend.
Okay, yeah, I'm Logosack YT, a YouTube channel. I post Fortnite videos on Pokemon. I'm trying to post a little bit more Pokemon, but I'm trying to get my skills up in Fortnite. It would be nice if we can hit 100 subs. I'm at 55 right now.
Nice.
Make sure you all like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting very soon. And I think I might be posting a cup in a couple days. For the live stream, I posted a couple YouTube shorts about the live stream. YouTube gave me some difficulties and I couldn't really live stream. So, but I am going to be live streaming in a couple years. So, yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you very
Very
much.
good.
Thank you guys
Can
so
I
much.
ask him a question before he bounces out?
Hey, yeah, Winbush has a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think about Sonic the Hedgehog coming to Fortnite? I literally
Oh.
just saw the trailer before I came on here.
I mean, it's amazing. I'm really excited for this season. This Fortnite season was great, but I think this one might be better, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I haven't played Fortnite in a while, but Sonic might get me back into it. So
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a bunch of people playing because it's like all video game based.
Pac-Man and Tetris.
Yeah, it's all video game legends, like skins, all that stuff. And they're pretty sure they're keeping sprites for anybody that's interested in that stuff.
that's awesome, man.
All righty. Hey, thanks again, man.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was a good start to the talk. So, all right. So, what do we got? Wales. What, you've heard a few things. What are you thinking right now? I mean, like, are we going to get a little bit of angry whales? Are we going to get a little bit of disappointed whales? Are we going to get a little bit of the clear thought process whales? Give it to us. Whatever it is, I want it.
It's probably gonna be clear thought, just because the last time we talked about this, that was angry, that was still kind of shocked whales because of the timing of it. But now it's, like I said, I've kind of just accepted it, and I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, there's nothing really that's going to be changing with the latest news that Sony's kind of just been like, yeah, we're still doing it, whatever kind of thing. So I'm just gonna enjoy the games I have. I'm enjoying getting the games back that I wanted and some of the games I never had before. I mean, that's kind of my hunt, my purpose right now. But I mean, I agree with Lobo Sack YT in that it was better when you had options, when you could have your digital and you could have your physical. And then now to take away options, it's it's not right, but I mean, if that's what they want to do, there's enough backlash with it. So hopefully, wallets speak louder than words,
They do.
whether that happens or not. But I mean, it's just I don't know. I guess I'm at peace with it right now because I know that there's going to be a time where I'll just stop, and I'm okay with that. I really
I
am.
was going to say, did you see there? The option might not be over because Xbox. I mean, I saw an article on The Verge. They were saying that the next Xbox might have a disc in it, and it's going to be able to handle 5 generations of Xbox. So it looks like they're not going to be abandoning it anytime soon. So the option is still there for physical. Hopefully, if
Hopefully.
everything is.
Hopefully, if it's there, but I've also heard rumblings that it's gonna be you have to pay a subscription to have to use that backwards compatibility especially if
Oh,
you buy
really?
stuff on the store.
Yeah,
I
there's a
didn't see
lot
that
of
part.
like
They're gonna
speculation
nickel
and
and
stuff.
dime you.
But
Yeah.
I would say if Xbox wants to pull themselves out of the toilet, what you just said that's rumored, Winbush, that could do it. Like that
Yeah.
could pull them out of the toilet if they are able to, especially because like emulation is still not great on especially early Xbox.
Yeah.
Like if they're
Mhm.
able to get OG Xbox and all the other generations on there, dude, and that the discs would work. Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be most likely the way that the Xbox One or the Series X works. You put the disc in, and then it still downloads off the internet to the thing. But at least it has a disc drive, and who knows? But I don't. It's
You
all
know what I
rumor.
think? I think that they're gonna. So I think the Helix might be diskless, but I think they're going to sell a separate disk drive, because like you're talking about emulation. The thing that I heard too was they're actually working on emulation in house at Microsoft to be able to play original Xbox and 360 games.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking if they're working on that, then if they have a separate hard drive that will hook up to the Helix, in theory, the hard drive should also hook up to your PC, right? So then your PC would be able to play off the disk because that emulation is kind of built. Because the
Into it.
Helix is going to be a PC at the end of the day. That's kind of what they're
Almost
aiming
all.
for. But
Yeah, almost
yeah,
all of these newer consoles are all PC
Gotta
based.
be PC
So
based. Yeah.
what? So that's interesting that you say that, Winbush, because I've heard a couple of things too. And one of the things that I've heard that I is again rumors, and I would love it to be true, is that Helix does have the disk drive, but just like they did with the Series X and the Series S, I think they will have another one that doesn't have a disk drive, and it's going to be just a streaming box.
yeah.
Just a streaming box will be the lesser, but it'll be emulation, so the streaming box will stream all 5 generations, but the actual like Helix itself, that would be like their primary device. But then this other one will be more of an entry level. I've heard rumblings of that possibly. Again, don't know, but I would prefer that rather than like a portable disk drive that you would move around personally for console. But I mean, who knows? It's all just it's
Yeah, I
madness
mean,
right now.
PlayStation 5 does that now, right? Like, don't they sell a disk drive for the PS5?
Mhm.
Because the PS5 Pro doesn't come with the disk drive, right? So they sell
Yeah,
it.
separate.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think it's like what
it's
is
an
it?
add-on. It's $150.
150. Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was
it's
trying to remember.
150. Oh, wow. I was
Oh,
thinking it'd be like
and
$100
speaking
or
of
something.
that, you guys might know this, people that are watching on this chat, or of course you guys in here, that it's over 80% of the PS5s that are in the market have a physical disk drive attached to them. Over 80%. I don't know exactly what number in 80. I just remember it was over 80%. So 8 out of 10 have physical disk drives in them. So whatever Sony's saying, it's like I don't know. Continue talking. I'm gonna keep my mouth
They
shut for a
don't.
minute.
First off, Sony doesn't care at all. I mean, they made that quite obvious. They put it right in their consumers' faces and said, "We really don't give a shit. The wave of the future is digital, and you're either going to ride with us or we're going to leave you behind, and then we're going to back up the train over your neck." I mean, that's basically what they're saying. But something else that I heard about the Xbox, which I thought was interesting, this was another like scuttlebutt, is that disk drive you could put your old Xbox games in there, and then it'll turn your physical into digital.
Yeah.
And then you can play it on PC and all that kind
Right,
of stuff.
right.
Yeah. Which again, good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
thing.
mean, I like it because then I could play it on my ROG Ally. That's the thing. Like I could buy the physical disc and then upload it to my system, and then I could play it on my portable handheld as well, which is kind of dope.
Yeah, I like that.
So okay, so I'm going to say this right off the bat. First off, I want to say thank you, Sony. I know. Hold up, before you crash out, I just want to say I'm saying thank you to Sony because their decision to put this out right now has generated all of this conversation. It has brought to the forefront something that's been happening. Like, so it on PC, it happened a long time ago, and we were too slow and to realize what was happening. And guess what? PC disk drives and disk-based games and physical media for PC disappeared, and we allowed that to happen. But at the time, remember, PC, the install base for games was a lot smaller, so I could easily see that happening. So, but now when you look back, it's like, you know, do you want a disk drive in your PC? I mean, probably not, but I want physical media. I would rather have a physical disk still for PC. I really would. But I'm not one of those like types of people that need to have it's super convenient and all that kind of stuff. But I want to take a moment and say thank you, Sony, because you looking at the almighty dollar and you keep trying to spin it that it's a good thing when everybody is telling you, and I mean everybody except for the people that are either employed by you or are tied into you somehow. Every single one of them are saying, no, we don't want this. And just like Lobosac YT said, we want both. Why are you deciding now that you're not going to, oh, you're throwing some weird numbers out there that, oh, you have all this digital and it's barely any physical. There's a lot of backlash on there that are talking about, are you just ignoring all the backlash? You think that's the vocal minority, and that's all that's being seen online. So thank you, Sony. Your silence, and then the things that you said to your shareholders, which is the only information we've gotten from you, have only added to the fact that what Wolfman said, that you absolutely do not care about your customers. And that is something that can't be bought back very easily. You have lost capital when it comes to as far as the goodwill capital that you've built over all these years. So thank you for doing that. But you need to check yourself. And people aren't dumb either. They're starting to catch on what you've done with GTA 6. Look, it's a conspiracy theory, and I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. I think you guys have been colluding for this exact moment and to this point. So I kind of blame Rockstar too, because it might be, again, I might be totally wrong, and I will definitely tell you, you know what, that was not, absolutely not. And yep, I was wrong 100% because I don't have an ego that big. If I mess up, I'm gonna tell you. But there's too many things that are coinciding with this that when too many lines coexist together and they intersect, there's something going on there. And the fact that you specifically, like, they're like, oh, the biggest game that's ever been released on console, oh, we're not doing any physical copies. What? Oh, a week later, oh, by the way, or a couple of days later, I think it was, wasn't it? It was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're cutting this. Again, that being coincidence it doesn't pass the eye test. It doesn't pass the sniff test either. So anyways, that's all I got for now. But yeah, what do you guys think? Did that strike anything?
Well, yes, because, and there's big companies, and Winbush, you're wearing the shirt that's making me say this. Sega has come out and said, we don't agree with you, Sony. We want physical stuff. We want to put physical copies in the hands of the consumers. And I think Kojima, you know, who does big games like Death Stranding and stuff, and what's the other one? The
Metal Gear Solids and all that.
Metal
stuff.
Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Metal Gear Solid. He's come out and said, oh, man, physical. Give the people at least a chance. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to maybe make a ton of copies, but put enough out there that the people that want to buy physical of Sega or Kojima stuff have the ability to do it.
I think I've also heard, I mean, like, I think we're up to 7 countries now that have joined together and filed lawsuits against Sony for the whole monopolization of,
The
you know,
PSN.
the PSN. So they're getting rid of physical discs. So you have to buy from, you know, their digital website and stuff and pay that price for it. And there's not another, you know, there's no middleman, no third party anymore. So I think I last heard it was up to 7 countries now. So I mean, when's the last time that happened? You've had global backlash, and then where it's turning into suits, and then governments are even getting involved. You know,
Well, it's
it's
because
just
Sony, they lied. Like
yeah,
they're
Yeah.
like how Dan was saying about how like I believe that too, how like the Grand Theft Auto announcement came out at the same time as this. That's
Mhm.
how they were able to skew the numbers, saying like, well, 95% of people buy digital. And it's like, well, yeah, you just had Grand Theft Auto go into pre-order, so that's going to skew the numbers. And then
Right,
also not every single video game releases on physical. Like there's a
physical.
lot of indie titles that only release digital. So they didn't
Yeah.
separate it in the categories. They actually just skewed everything in together. So of course, it's going to be a lot more digital games than physical games because there's a lot more indie creators out there right now that can't even afford to put their stuff on physical media. They can only put it on digital, and that's going to skew the numbers in that way. So they might
Mhm.
be saying the truth by saying like 95% or whatever the number was is buying digital. And it's like, well, that's because they didn't have a choice to even buy it for physical for a lot of this. So they need to actually categorize it and say like, okay, Final Fantasy 15 came out. We had a digital and a physical. This is how many people bought digital, and this is how many people bought physical. And kind of get the numbers that way. Don't lump it all into one lump sum.
They won't.
Mhm.
And also, there's something else on top of this. All right, conspiracy theory again. Tinfoil hats. You guys throw them on. Yep, you got it. Sony's been planning on doing this for a long time. And what's to say that they haven't been, I got something to support this too. What's to say that they haven't been slowly reducing the amount of physical discs that they've been producing for games when they've been throwing it out? Do you remember trying to find a physical copy of Resident Evil Requiem? How fast they
Mm.
sold out and you couldn't find any more? I remember. The internet remembers too. So I
Evan
think that
Schramm
they've
remembers.
I think they've been doing it on purpose. I think that they've been throttling back for and when I started going looking back, I'm a creature of habit and I pay attention to patterns. When I start looking back, I will tell you over the past couple of years at least, there's been less and less physical copies available in the market. And they say, well, it's because people just aren't buying them. They're sitting on the shelves. No, that's not
Mhm.
it. You guys have been still selling out a lot of video games that physically on the, but you're only releasing a certain amount of them. You notice how they're not saying, oh, we sold out of all the physical copies that we produced, because that'll show that they're not producing enough. And I think they've been doing that on purpose, knowing that this was going to happen. And I think that they announced the whole digital thing when they knew for sure that GTA 6 was not going to be delayed again. I think they've been
Yep.
waiting for GTA 6 the entire time. Again, tinfoil hat. I don't know if I'm right. And if I'm wrong, again, I will apologize till I'm freaking blue in the face. But
Well, I
there's,
mean, look how
again,
fast they closed their factory down. Literally, like
Yeah.
5 days after they announced it, the factory closed down. Like you can't make it happen that fast. Like you have to
Mhm.
slowly
Yeah, things have
position
to
and stuff. Like
be
yeah, it's like
set into motion. Like you
Yeah.
said, there's no way you flip a switch like that. And
yep.
to that magnitude, too. Like there's no way.
Thousands and thousands of people lost their
Yeah.
jobs, and then they tried to go back and say, well, we're just going to have them like produce other things in the factory, like it might not be pressing discs for us, but maybe we'll have them make widgets for clocks or something,
Right. Yeah.
like
yep.
something ridiculous so they could save face. But I think, Dan, I think you're on to something. I I think it's very interesting. Like when you said that, a lot of little light bulbs started to appear, because I would say, like you said, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, it became really difficult to find, especially me, because I look for certain publishers and stuff. And like I would go into like GameStop or Best Buy, and I would go, and they're like, dude, like they only sent us like 10 copies for the whole effing store for Best Buy where I live. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think there might be something to it. I think they were starting to scale back, like you said, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, waiting for like this grand reveal of, we're not going to be doing this anymore.
What do you think about the catalyst that's happening now, though? Wales, I'm gonna ask you this. What do you think about the what do you think that it's done to the market in particular on to like physical media in general? Like what do you think about the fact that that movies are starting to be bought again, VHS. What do you have to say about that? Because Sony basically shot themselves in the foot. And so what do you have to say? What do you think? What do you observe with the people? What's happening with just physical media in general, with people rebelling?
It's from the people I go to, the stops I have, and of course you guys and the other groups that we're in and stuff. It's people are just they're realizing what ownership really means, and then also with news of other games that are being delisted and everything, and it's not okay. There's a difference between like it's being delisted, you paid for it, now you don't have it anymore, but I downloaded it onto my system, so I should still be good. And then you go to that game and it's been taken off of your system. You didn't delete it yourself, it was
Right.
taken away from you, like somehow. And that is, I mean, that's just theft. Let's just call it what it is. But what's it's that's been happening more and more lately, sadly. And what that's done is it's opened up people to going and figuring out like, okay, what does ownership really mean? And it's kind of like this cutoff time that people are going back and figuring out I can have these things and they can't take them from me at a certain point. And so people are migrating back to those forms of media, whether it's gaming, whether it's audio, whether it's, you know, movies and stuff like that. And it's being bought up in drones. And because of that, there's two issues with that. It's one, it's making prices skyrocket, obviously. And secondly, it's creating a mad dash now to some degree because it's not like they're reproducing these things anymore. These things are 10, 20, even 30 years old at this point. It makes me sick to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. You dusty old fart right here and, you know, coming to grips with it kind of thing. But the point I'm saying is there's a finite level of these items available. And once you reach a threshold, so you're still going to be able to find them here and there, but it's not going to be accessible like they were, say, I'd even say maybe 5 years ago, 3 years ago. You can still go in and find, like, say, just popular games like Super Metroid. You used to be able to find those all the time. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. And it was affordable. It was 35, 40 bucks and stuff. And now I've gone to places where I went there all the time and it was always there, multiple copies. It's gone. It doesn't exist. And if you do find that game, it's literally $90 now. $90. It's more than doubled in, say, 18 months, if that. I'd even say a year. And so just there's a finite amount of these games, these VHS tapes, even these DVDs, you know, if that's what you know, depending on your hobby and what you're trying to collect and what you're trying to own, there's a finite level and amount of these things. And once they're gone, they're gone. You know, I mean, there are repros out there and stuff, and that can be, you know, found and stuff like that. But I mean, it's still tough to find the authentic, genuine thing. And it just, again, it depends on your level of desperation, I guess I want to say. Like, you know, how far are you willing to go to search and find and pay for these items that 5 years ago you're like, dime a dozen. Now you can't even find any at all to some degree. So it's just it's made people think and change their mindset on things. I mean, me personally, I mean, I'll vouch for it. I've hit the all gas no brakes on some of the stuff I've been trying to find. And I mean, I got a mail call today. So I mean, it's bit me hard since, and I've even got numbers. I broke stuff down for you guys actually and stuff, so I can get onto that later if we want to discuss it. But I mean, it's pretty crazy what it can do to people.
And
The threat is real.
I got a question for Winbush. Because of what where you are in the industry, what do you think, like, the feel that they're pushing us towards cloud streaming subscription services? What do you think about that whole future that they're trying to say us as consumers want?
Yeah, so I work in the creative field mainly, and this has been a topic for, I would say, even over a decade, because I feel like in my field, Adobe was the first big gun to go ahead and say you no longer own software. You have to rent it from us. And then Microsoft followed suite with like Excel, and like they have the whole Microsoft 365 where you can't even own Excel or Microsoft Word or anything anymore. You have to subscribe to it, which is really stupid. But this was something that, we've been fighting for a long time, and more companies have gotten onto that because they saw it as a money driver. Because if you buy a piece of software, and usually it was like a yearly update. So like let's say Photoshop, we'll say, because everybody knows Photoshop. So
Yep.
say I bought like Photoshop 2006, and then 2007 comes out, and I'm like, well, I don't need those new features. I'm cool with the one I have. They look at that as like, okay, we lost a potential customer because they're not upgrading. So we're going to force them to upgrade by putting them behind this, the subscription. And not only that, we're going to stripe away their license so they can't even use the version of Photoshop that they own. So if they try to log in, they're no longer able to, use that, which that's happened to me on a couple of pieces of software. So it's something that we've seen for happening for a long time, and people have fought against it, but it's kind of like, what can you do? Like, this is what you need for your job. And there's really been no way for us to there's no other alternatives because everybody was doing it. They saw it as a big money grab and everybody was on board. Now we're starting to see it with home video, because I worked a lot of home video. We saw that, DVDs and VHSs, and all the like has started to go away, and everything went to like Hulu and Netflix and all these subscription services. And now we're seeing it with video games. So it's just like every industry saw what was happening. I want to say it was Adobe's fault. I'll blame Adobe. Everybody saw that, and they're just like, oh wow, we can continuously keep getting money every single month, and these people don't care that they don't own the stuff. They're happy to just keep renting it from us. And once they stop renting it from us, then they're stuck, right? Because then they don't have anything, so they have to come back on board. So it's just this vicious cycle, and it's sickening. But I mean, that's what corporate greed does, right? Like they don't care as long as their graph keeps going up. That's all they really care about.
Can I add something? It's a really great question about the cloud-based gaming because once again, news is so topical, right? Like, I don't know if it was yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, anybody that bought the Nintendo Switch version of Aliens Fireteam Elite, cloud-based gaming, gone. August 5th, no more. Now, you're not talking about an effing game that came out 10 years ago. This is a game that came out like what?
It was released
Three
three years
years
ago
ago.
on Switch. It was released 3 years ago.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So, you paid $60 or whatever you paid for it, $50, and it is just gone August 5th. So, like in 2 weeks, those people are just, they're out of luck. And the company that makes it, they're not giving any refunds or doing anything for those people.
No,
They don't have
they
to.
said we're sorry. Yeah, please
Yeah,
enjoy
we're
some of our
SOL.
please enjoy some of our other games. We're sorry for the inconvenience.
It's
That's
the
the only game they made.
Windbush,
That's not going to
Kentucky.
be that's
Go
not
ahead.
going to be the only one, because I don't know if you remember. I think it was L.A. Noir by Rockstar that came out on
Mhm.
Switch
Yeah.
One. They
Yeah.
sold the physical cartridge for it, but it was cloud streaming. I think they were like the first one. So it's like if they end up pulling that off, then it's like you have this cart that has absolutely nothing on it, and like you paid your $60-$70, and the same thing is like you can't even use it, even though you have the physical copy of it, which that's even more maddening. Like the digital thing is one thing, but to own the cartridge and not be able to play it, I mean, that's nuts,
The hard part too is when you start breaking it down and you realize that it is going to happen, and it's going to happen more and more often. That's the thing that's going to catch, and it's already started happening. See, like, so I was talking with my daughter about this physical thing, and you guys are touching on it, where we were talking about Spotify, and she was like, she doesn't want to pay for Spotify, right? Everybody just goes, just pay for Spotify. She doesn't want to. But what she got tired of was that she couldn't choose her music, and then albums that she would listen to, they would just randomly take them away from her, and she was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, what? No, I don't want that. That's hence the reason why she didn't sign up for it. Because she's like, why do I want to sign up for this and not have ads or anything and be able to choose my tracks, and then all of a sudden the CD's gone? No, I don't want to do that. And so guess what she started doing? She specifically started doing this. She's 18. She started buying CDs again. CDs, physical.
Yeah,
And I asked her quickly, like what is doing this? She goes, it's mine. It's mine. I get this, and I can listen to it as much as I want, as often as I want, and I don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, okay. And it's gotten to the point where she buys 2 discs sometimes, where she can keep one in her car and then one so she can listen to in her room. Like, it's mind blowing what they're trying to do. I want to touch on something too that Wales had talked about, the finite amount of games. So, and I have a game here to talk about this and to kind of touch on my point here. Bless you.
God bless you.
Sure.
So there's a finite amount of games that are out there. And now people are starting to realize, like, oh, shoot, you are right. So the big heavy hitters, like Wales touched on, they're getting bought up. Now, if retro resellers are buying them and then selling them again, yeah, those are still going to be in the market until they hit a person like me or Wolfman or Wales or even Windbush, where it stops. Then it's out of the market. So what happens is you have this small, perfect example, Def Jam, Fight for New York, okay? They released it on Xbox, PlayStation 2, and the one copy here, GameCube, that I have here. So the issue with this is they release overall between all of them. I couldn't find any definitive numbers, but it's a million. It's 1 million to 2 million copies of this game specifically out there. This is a good game, and it seems like, oh man, that's a lot of copies of that are out there. Let me remind you, there are 340 million people that live in the United States. Do you think there might be even 2 million people that would collect this game? Oh, but what about if they're collecting and looking specifically for the GameCube version? How many of those do you think there were? I couldn't even find that number, but I guarantee you it's the least amount that were made was on this system. So that's the thing that's happening here with when we're talking about physical media. Physical media, it's out there, and like Whale said, it all of a sudden now you're dealing with, okay, how much is this really worth it is this really worth to me? Because prices are not going back. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you guys. Like, I could not afford like 90% of the games that I own now. I could not go back and start collecting retro. So I'm sorry, those of you that are trying to collect retro, I have one suggestion. Pick 1 or 2 systems that you like and pick 1 or 2 of the games that you like and just start off there. But understand that if you want a specific game and it's a little bit harder to come by, you're not going to find it cheap at a flea market anymore. That world is gone now forever. And Sony it started with Nintendo and their Switch 2 talking stuff about the key card. And then it really was pushed over the ledge with Sony. So you can thank them for this, but that's the great part that Wales touched on too. And this is the last thing I'm going to say for a minute because I've talked too much. But when we have these physical games that are out there, they are ours and we own them and we don't have to worry about them being taken away unless the house burns down, heaven forbid, if that happens, hopefully not, or somebody steals them. But what happens when it's the actual publishers that are stealing them? What happens if it's Sony that's stealing them? Because that's what happens, like Wales touched on. They are ripping movies and games out of people's libraries that they have purchased. Oh, and guess what? They're going to be protected. We have all these lawsuits going on. Guess what? The EULA protects them to a certain extent. Unfortunately, you know that thing that everybody sees and spins through and they don't really read and then they click I accept at the bottom? What that told you was, oh, we can retract all this if we ever decide that we want to. Yeah, that's what that meant. So it's going to be a hard-fought battle for us, and Windbush touched on it the last time. I think there's going to have to be some form of governmental, and I hate to have them. I hate when they put their hands on stuff because they usually mess it up, but there has to be some guardrails put in. Anyways, for my diatribe, what are you guys thinking now? Because I know you got something.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think there's an opportunity? Like, I know Wolfman talked about Sega saying that they're all in on physical media, and like limited run games right now. Like, I hate that they're doing it this way, but they just re-released Sonic 1 and 2 as the original cartridge. So I'm like, there might be an opportunity there for some of these publishers to re-release some of their physical hardware and actually put more copies out. I wish they would do it at a more reasonable price. I hate that Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 were $100 respectively, like for each one. I mean, that's kind of insane for a game like that, especially because you can find the originals for like $20. Like, it's kind of crazy that they're doing that. But if Sega was like really smart and really wanted to be like, we're here for the consumers, like they should re-release a lot of their old games. Like I would buy, like Ultra Beast and Golden Axe and stuff like that for like $25-30 and just, run another limited run. Be like, okay, this is how many we have. This is what we're putting out in the market. Just order it from us or, whatever. And I think there's some money on the table for
Re-release
Yeah.
that.
Like that.
hmm Dreamcast games. They don't have to be DVD or Blu-ray style, right? Because there's only certain DVD. There's lots of manufacturers still, for the most part, for that. But re-release disc-based media. I I don't think that's a problem either. I really don't. But that's a
because
great point.
and I mean, and I think all of us would agree here and stuff. It's like keep the option there and stuff. But if you want to upcharge because it's on a disc instead of a digital and stuff, people will pay that up. I will, if you, as long as you keep the option of having a disc there and stuff with it and everything. I'll pay $5-10 more just because, well, you can get it cheaper on digital. But I mean, if you want the physical, like, and we got to make the case and the disc and stuff, it's going to cost you more. Okay,
I
cool.
kind of don't like that because that was the original promise whenever digital started coming out was okay, we don't have to do the manufacturing on a disc, so it was supposed to be
It
cheaper.
was supposed to
for
be, but it
digital,
never happened, did it?
but they always stayed on par with each other until now they're like, well, it costs $10 per disc, so why would we produce it? It's like because like I don't know, it's like maddening. It's like you're supposed to have it at convenience for people saying like you could get the digital if you want to be like $15 cheaper because it's digital and you're not buying actual something that you can have tangible, but they the corporate greed once again they kept it aligned with each other. I know there was some other stuff in there with retailers and stuff like that, but yeah, I hate that it's to the point now that they're saying like, okay, physical is a niche and we could give you physical, but we're going to upcharge you for it because it's like that wasn't the promise to begin with. So why are you upcharging us for something that was supposed to just be regular price to begin with this whole time?
Especially now, because if you look at like, there's some games where I would have paid the price they wanted for the deluxe edition or collector's edition for certain games, but it was only a digital version. And like part of it was because it had different covers, or because you had like a standard edition cover for the
Right.
cheapest price, and then they had the deluxe and then an ultimate, and they had different covers. And it's like, I would love to have a physical version of this cover like that. That's perfect. I love that. But they're like, yeah, but that's digital only though. That's not, you can't get a physical version of that game. It's like, well, then why are we having it as a collector's or an ultimate edition if it's not anything you can show off? You can point to it on your screen when you open it. But I mean, like, I can take a picture of something too and show that as well. But I just don't understand that they used to mean something. When you used to get in the PlayStation 2, 360 era and beyond, when you would get a collector's edition, like you would get something awesome with it. You get a specialized game with the manual and other things with it. Like I mean, I can give
The
off
disc
examples
art.
if you want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you just get, but I mean, like that was a physical, that was something you're proud of. You're like, I paid the extra money for all this extra stuff, and it's amazing and stuff. And it's like now it's like you can get a standard edition and you can upgrade to that and pay the price difference that it would have been. And at least you still have your standard game. Or if you want to get it from the jump, it's only digital though. So I'm paying $100 and stuff, and I can put companies and games on blast if you want. But it's just like if I'm going to pay money and more money for a standard edition with all these extra fixings to it, how come it's digital only? Like that kind of defeats the purpose of it, right? Or am I just way off in left field on this?
Yeah, remember EA was doing that. Remember the one year, I think it's for like Madden Deluxe. Instead of giving you like an actual physical copy, they sent you a PDF so you could print out the cover yourself. I think it might have had like Brett Favre on the cover.
It's what,
like
because
the
it was the
Limited
reason,
Edition,
and
but
the reason they did that one though is because that's when he retired and then he came back. So they put him on the cover
right,
as a
yeah.
Green Bay Packer because he retired, and then after the game came out, which is actually, I think it came out yesterday and stuff, is the new Madden game, the Madden Holiday. Anyway, he came out of retirement midway during the season and signed with the New York Jets, and so they're like, oh wait, so this isn't a retirement edition now. We'll send you a PDF file, only it's now with him photoshopped in the New York Jets jersey, so you can be current and print that out, and now you can have both editions and stuff. But that's because of that stupid hillbilly from Alabama. Sorry if you're from Alabama. Don't mean to offend you, but sorry, not sorry, because Brett Favre's a douche. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, sports ran over.
I see the wheels turning, Wolfman. What do you got?
So I've been listening intently, and there's a lot of interesting things. I want to get this out here first because I know I talked with some of you on the side about this. You mentioned, Dantron, about clickbait, and there's a lot of people that are putting stuff out there, and they're doing a lot of hot takes and getting people all hot and bothered. But the one idiot RGT85. I kind of love it because it's karma. You know, that son of a bitch had a great retro video game collection. And on his channel leading up to him selling off 90% of his collection, he was saying, I'm telling you, get out the retro market. The bubble is going to burst. You know, all the prices are going to come crashing down. And I forget when he sold his collection. I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I would write in his comments, I'm like, no, dude, retro gaming is not going to crash. I think it's a mistake because he had some really sweet games. And obviously, you know, it's like egg in his face because I looked at his channel and he's talking about, oh my God, you should see retro prices are through the roof. And he starts that video on his channel by saying, hey, I'm not salty that I sold my collection, but man, I can't believe the prices of some of these games are going through the roof. So I had to mention that because there's a lot of that clickbait baity stuff that's going on. Remember, Dan Tron, I sent you that video, that collector, he's kind of like us, Y2K. He puts out stuff all the time. He gives his 2 cents. Hey man, you know, opinions are like buttholes, man. Everybody's got one, right? And we all know that. You could say whatever you want, but the bottom line is, and I think the four of us could agree, retro video games is not going anywhere. And the bubble ain't bursting anytime soon. And like I said at the beginning of the video, they just keep going up and up and up. I have a friend like your Andy Dantron, my guy Dave, who owns a store. He sells like antiques and video games. It's Allen's Attic Treasures, where I live in Willow Grove. And he was telling me that he can't keep N64 games on the shelf. It's just like they're just like hotcakes. And I forget what he said the other one was. I think he said PS2. There's like a resurgence in PS2, PS3, and N64. And I don't know. I just wanted to add that real quick. And then this is a question for the three of you. So I got a repro here in front of me that I bought. It's a Japanese game. I love collecting stuff, but like I'm not getting a Super Famicom just to play this game. It's like a $300 game. It's called King of Demons.
So I got
I
you,
got this
Wolf.
for $18. It's got an English translation. So I guess my question to you is this. Especially Wales, even myself, I bought my first reproductions that I've ever bought. Everything that I have is authentic. So my question is, if you have an authentic cart or video game and you get a reproduction box and you get a reproduction manual, but the game is authentic, does that make it CIB? Do you get the full value of what it says on GameEye? And I'm looking at Wales and myself because we've been buying some manuals and stuff that we were missing in boxes. And, you know, one of my friends who's not here right now, Eric, he thinks that it should count, you know, that a repro box and a manual and an authentic game makes it CIB. And I want to ask you guys what your thoughts and feelings are on that, because I'm not sure about that. I find that could be disingenuous to collectors out there. It's a tough question. I don't know what the answer is myself, because I know I'm looking at Dantron, I'm looking at Wales. I know you guys, Winbush, I'm sure you might have a couple repros of stuff. Where do you value that stuff? Like, where does it fall on the game charting, GameEye continuum?
Now, can I ask?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I ask? Are you speaking on a perspective of you might want to sell it one day, or you're just going to keep these for
I'll give you an
yourself?
example. I have Chrono Trigger. It's an expensive Super Nintendo game. I'm not crazy enough to go and try to get the authentic box and manual. Okay, that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But I did go through, Wales told me about a company that makes really good stuff. I got the cart. It looks The untrained eye would think it's an authentic Super Nintendo box of Chrono Trigger. It even has the cardboard insert that the game holds into, and the
Yep.
manual is goddamn beautiful. It's like 80 pages color, like you've
88,
seen it, Will. So
88. Yep, I
so
got it.
so what do you do? Like, so now how do you look at that Chrono Trigger? Is it just Chrono Trigger? You just have cart only? Or do you say, now that you got the repro box and manual, now it's CIB and you get the full 900 plus dollar value of it? It's a slippery slope. So I just wanted to get your opinions on that.
I mean, to me, I count it as complete unbox. I mean, I've been getting Aubrey pros just because everything is so crazy. I got into everything late, so it's like I wanted Streets of Rage like 1 and 2. Those are more than what I want to pay for them, so I bought those cheap on repro, and I bought the carts loose, but I ended up making my own cases for it and everything. And like it looks nice on my shelf. Like I put, the effort in and tried to make it look as authentic as possible. But it's for me. So at the end of the day, it's like I enjoy it. That's all I really cared about. If
Right.
the reason I ask if you're like talking about reselling though, because if you were to resell it, then you would have to be truthful to the person that you're going to sell it to. Say like, hey, the cart is original, but I did buy the manual in the box, that was built secondhand later on, and just be upfront about it. And, I think somebody would appreciate, like, I've seen people do that when I was at the retro game convention earlier this summer. Somebody was buying something and the vendor was like, oh, that's a repro, right? And the guy was totally fine with it. He was like, you know what? I prefer this because it's actually in good condition and doesn't look all beat up as if I would have bought it, the authentic one. So it depends on the individual person. To me, it doesn't really matter, but it just, it depends on the situation of that
Yeah, I
person.
would be, as a collector, I would find that would be disingenuous. Like if I was buying something and I went into a store and it looks great and they're selling like like the cart is real, but the box and manual are repro and they're selling it for $900, I would find that to be disingenuous.
Yeah, I don't think they sold it. They didn't sell it for that. They were like, this is a repro. This is why this is this. And the guy was like, yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Like what they
Yeah.
say, like Earthbound, like he wasn't charging them $3,000 for Earthbound. It was like, this
Right.
is $60 because this is a repro. And the guy's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So
So
to get, or go ahead, Bones. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
no, I was
Oh, I'm
done.
not saying I'm want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm torn because I hear certain people saying, "Oh yeah, I mean, as long as the cart is real and you get a good repro box and manual, well, it's CIB as far as I'm concerned." And I just don't know about that. So when I
So
put it in the game I put it in as cart only instead of box and manual. But a couple friends are saying, "Oh no, put it in as cart, manual, and box
yeah.
and
So
get the full
for
value."
me, I was gonna say it, and Winbush took it right out of me. It depends on just what you're wanting it for. If you're a hardcore collector and you want authentic, then I mean, go that route with it. If that's what you want to do, and that's what makes you feel better, saying is it's a CIB is if you get everything authentic, then power to you. But for people like me that are just wanting to, all my games are legit on authentic cases. But I'm going back because when I was younger, the NES and the Super NES, let's be honest, those boxes were shit. And the N64 is even worse. Like if I held a Banjo Kazooie, and so I have a place. I have a couple guys, Manny and Cameron, that I go to and stuff. I mean, I was having to hold the N64 box. It was a Banjo Kazooie, and he was with two fingers easily opening the flaps because they're so flimsy
Yeah.
and dated. And we were just slowly pulling. It was almost like a surgery kind of thing because you wanted to not damage the box. And so with these repros that are coming out and stuff, for me, those systems I grew up with, NES and Super Nintendo, I'm actually going out and spending good money on getting plastic cases because I'm about preserving my games. I want my games to be preserved in case something happens. Because if you dropped a Super Nintendo box, it would get, especially a corner, it would get crunched in or scratched or torn or whatever. The Genesis ones, those plastic cases, I actually had inserts for the games. They were in. You had to click them out to get them out. And they even had little slots and stuff in for them. Yeah. I mean, I'm right here with you. Mutant League Football. I got this one off eBay and stuff. And
Here you go. You ready for the ASMR?
Go for it. Mm-hmm.
Nice and tight.
Yeah. And
That's what
so
she said.
repro. This is my repro for Mutant League Football. This is a repro manual, full color.
It looks legit.
It's legit, and it's so you can say that is because in these pages, it's got even the back part where it's got even the team rankings and stuff. So it tells you what team to use for whatever. So I mean, it's thick. It's the real stuff on it. And then the game that I even got even has the 96 flyer from EA with it and stuff. But so for me, legit game, legit case and stuff, but I bought the manual for it. Do I count this as CIB? I absolutely do, because I'm in it to collect. I'm not into resell. And so if you're trying to resell, like Wimbush said, you've got to be faithful and honest, because for you, Wolfman, my guy did that. I got you that card of Super Off-Road. He flat out told me, he goes, this is a repro though. It's a repro, dude. I said, okay.
He was. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, you have to be a moron to not recognize.
But I mean, it's a clean copy, and I mean, I put it in and fired it up, and it tests. But I mean,
it's great.
And it was $8. I got it for $8. You know how much does that for Super Off-Road for Super Nintendo? $8.
I'm gonna blow your mind, Wales. You're missing the playing cards that come into that on Mutant League Football.
Mutant League.
Sorry,
okay.
I have them. So you can find them. They'll print them out for you. Then you can have yours.
I'm trying to just complete collections and stuff. I'm not wanting authentic. I want as authentic as I can get.
Yeah. And it's
for to me to have that flyer, that does it for me.
Yep.
A game I got today, and this is all legit. I got this mail call today. Not a great game, but X-Men Mutant Academy. I love this game because this came out when the X-Men movie came out in 2000. The reason I do like this game, and the reason I got it off of eBay, it still has the free movie voucher to go see the movie.
That is so
when
awesome.
It came out.
That is super cool.
That Activision paid for when you got the game when it came out, when the movie came out. So
that is awesome.
To answer your question, it just depends on who you are. When I'm getting these games in, since I'm spending the money to get repro manuals. And again, well, if you saw all the repro manuals I've got when you I had the pleasure of hosting you a couple weeks ago here. I'm paying the money for them. And do I have some that are legit? Absolutely. Let's see. I got my breakdown here. I bought 15 authentic manuals, like legit ones off eBay. And then the rest I got were repros. So, I mean, for certain games, I want all authentic. So for me, every Mortal Kombat, because that is my favorite franchise of all time, everything I have of Mortal Kombat is legit minus the case, because again, Super Nintendo cases are garbage. So I got plastic, fully authentic repros of those cases. You can scan the barcode and it will pull up the game. So other than that, the manuals, the carts, everything is absolutely legit. It's just, what are you going to use it for? For me, I'm not trying to down the road sell it. So I'm just in it collected, and it's nice to see what it goes up to and everything. But I'm real where I want to be real, and then the rest of me is just trying to get what I can. Because am I an RPG fan? Hell no, I'm not. Am I going to spend $900 on a CIB whatever of Chrono Trigger? No. But do I have all of it here? Yeah, I do. But I'm cool with spending $50 for it.
Can I ask a question before Dan jumps in? I know I see Dan ready.
Larson's going to eat me alive, and that's fine.
But this is it pertains to this because and this goes to when Wolfman was talking about like the retro bubble, which that bothers me there. But do you guys play the games that you buy? Like, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but are you guys playing the games when you buy them, or are you collecting just to collect, for the shelf and stuff?
So just for this one, because I'm going to show Larson just because it's awesome. I haven't played it yet because I'm not going to play because it's not my game. But
no, play it. You have my permission to play that game.
Do I have your permission?
Yes,
to play?
100% play that game, dude.
It's fun.
I was going to next time I go over, because I don't have my Genesis here. I was going to make sure it works first. That was the only thing I was going to do. But
play it.
I wasn't going to play, but okay. But
play it.
To answer your question,
it needs to be the blessed by whales. Yes.
Now this one for you, I cannot play. I do not have an N64, but this one and then this one also I picked up for Larson because again I hooked my homies up. This is your do not resale Sonic and Knuckles. Oops. But I'm gonna make sure they work for him and stuff. But no, absolutely. All the games I've got because I had them at one point in time. I will admit I was the kid when PlayStation 1 came out. I played it at Toys R Us. I played Madden 97. Was blown away by having CD graphics, Twisted Metal, all that stuff. But I was like, I really like my Super Nintendo, my Sega Genesis. What did Toys R Us have at that time? Trade in any combination of 10 Sega and Super Nintendo games and get $100 off a brand new PlayStation 1 set
Yeah.
because it was $200 brand new at the time.
Mm.
So you literally got one for half retail price, but you gave away up to 10 Super Nintendo and Sega combination games. If it's like that meme where like you're in the gas and you're screaming, no, don't do it. That would be me right now telling myself not to do that. But right, yeah. So I'm going back and getting games that I used to have and I am playing them on the original hardware. And the beautiful thing about doing that is I'm doing it with my kids now. Like they're playing, they're holding it up. And something that just gut punched me because I didn't think my youngest son thought that deep about physical media like Lobosac does. He obviously, from his pops, has a genuine love and understanding for physical media. My boys do as well. And so my youngest, more so than my oldest, when we went over to where I have everything set up and hooked up, and every time I go to the retro stores or my eBay sites and I buy all these games, and I bought a ton lately, testing them out, make sure it works. He walked in as I was loading up a game and he just picked up, what did he pick up? He picked up, what was it? I think it was Jungle Strike for Sega Genesis. And was just looking at the game and he just looked and he goes, man, he goes, I wish I had your childhood, Dad. And I looked at him, I said, what? I said,
No,
what'd
you
say? And
don't.
he goes,
We
I
had
know, I
polio,
looked-
and we had.
I
No, I'm
looked-
just kidding.
No, but I just kind of looked at it. I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, these are so cool. And he goes, and to know that like you grew up and you had these as a kid and you played them. He goes, this is awesome. He goes, I wish I had your childhood to play these games, when we knew and stuff. So it's new to him now, but even he got that feel. And so like that just like took me back and I was just like he's like, man, is your life that shit for you to say that? But no, but it's just like that just hits you. It's like, I didn't think you were going to go that deep on just me being happy I'm getting these retro games back and I'm playing them and I'm showing them to you. But like it connected with him that hard that he understands the importance of it, so that was pretty good.
First off, I want to apologize to those of you that are watching this and you hear the jingle kicking off consistently. And those of you that know it's the jingle. I should have freaking turned it off. Those are new subscribers, so thank you for you guys randomly subscribing, and it's going off regularly, and I apologize to you watching, but thank you to you that are doing it. All right, there you go. Wolfman, answer his question.
What? Answer whose question?
It
Winbush's
was just
question.
his question. It's your turn. We've
Yeah.
answered
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's
So-
you.
So all right, so I only buy games that I'm gonna play, period. That's it.
Mhm.
So I'll give you an example. So growing up, like Whale said, there are certain games that I own that aren't necessarily like great games, but they're games that either I have a nostalgia hit for, or that I played in the past, and yeah, they're just one exactly your test drive.
Not great, but they meant something to me, right?
Exactly. I have a perfect example is NBA Live 95. I remember playing that game so much on Super Nintendo. Jordan being able to drive the paint, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. The dunk animations and stuff. So awesome. But you know what? That's a game that's available freaking everywhere because it's an EA game and nobody pays attention to it. But it means something to me. I only buy those games. I don't buy, and I buy to preserve. I don't buy to resell. And if Andy, my buddy, was on here, he was invited, but he had other stuff. But I've had this conversation with him. I never trade in. I don't, because that's not what I am. I don't buy these as investment properties and stuff like that. I play every single freaking game that I own. That's it. So Did that answer your question there, Winbush?
That was Wimbush's question, and then Wolf's question was, if you get repros, do you qualify
Yeah,
or
yeah.
do you sell those as CIBs?
That's
Yeah.
what I want to hear.
So, all right,
As
I'm
a
gonna
collector.
answer this with a question. Are you ready for that? All right. So, if you're walking along the street in New York and you see a couture bag sitting there and it has the legit original handle, but the bag is a reproduction, do you expect that to be considered authentic and complete?
I do.
No.
I just did
I
that
don't
when
even
I
know
was
what
in New
that
York. I
is.
bought this Louis Vuitton wallet. Nobody could tell the difference. I bought it for $5 from a guy off the street down in Times Square.
Yeah, but so what I'm gonna get at is, and again, these are just our opinions. I don't consider it CIB because Wolf, you touched on it. You specifically said, I'm going to use your own words to answer your question. The box for Chrono Trigger is $100 with the insert, usually around. The manual is about $100 itself. What I'm saying there, and what you said there, is there is a specific intrinsic value to those items. You cannot substitute those for reproductions and consider yourself getting full price. You just can't. I'm sorry. Now, you can call it CIB, like Whale said, 100%. I agree. CIB for you owning, not selling. It wouldn't be
Yep.
considered
Yeah.
CIB
Nope.
for sell. It would be CIB for owning.
For owning.
That
Yep.
that's it. It's because I 100% agree with you. I agree. You have CIB copy, reproduction in some parts, but it's CIB. All the good stuff that you need, all the manual, all the fun things that you can look at for yourself, CIB. Is it technically CIB if you're talking resell or its actual value? That is not. It's
Nope.
not the same. Just in my opinion. Again, you asked for it, Wolfman. That's what we got.
Well, and I agree with you. I agree 100%. So, but like
Yep.
Whale said, it is cool to have the box. It brings back the nostalgia of like the box, the Super Nintendo box, and the manual is killer. I can't believe they only charged like whatever they charged for that,
It-
$4 or
It
whatever.
was
It's like
well
20
that
bucks,
one
15
that
bucks, or 20 bucks, something like that.
No, it was because they're running a sale. I think
Oh.
it was $550.
Yeah,
$550. It's normally $12. You're right, but it's on sale for
they
$550.
lost money
Yeah,
on
they did.
printing that for me.
The ink alone, because it's 88 full color pages. It's insane.
I know.
Insane.
I have the legit book thanks to, again, we talked about my buddy Andy. He gave it to me as a gift for, I want to say it was for my birthday. So that was awesome. But yeah, so that manual is freaking dope. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting a little bit long here, but I have one last question that I would like to pose everybody here, if you're good with that. We got time for one more question. All right.
Yeah, for
Fire
sure.
away.
So
Fire away.
my question here specifically is the video game industry going to overall be better next year versus what it was this year?
Better in what sense do you think?
Do you,
Or-
I'm just leaving it kind of open.
Oh,
Do you
yeah, overall,
consider that the
like-
video game industry, do you believe it's going to be better next year versus this year? Do you think it's going to just be, you can use your scale on whatever you think is better. You can talk about different components of it. I'm just giving it to everybody because they're going to think about this question a little bit different. So do you think it's going to be better next year versus this year?
I say for me personally, it's going to be better because I'm finally going to get the Neo Geo at the end of the year. So that's going to be my icing on the cake. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking more forward to that than like a Helix or a PS6. Like that's going to be the creme de la creme. But I mean, it's like I've been eating good this year. Like I've been getting back all the old consoles, been getting some of the games back, and I have a whole plethora of games to where if I never buy a game again, like I'd be completely fine. Like I have enough to enjoy. So for me, I could say like I think gaming's in a good spot. It's because I'm in a good spot. Like I got everything that I want and I'm enjoying it, and everything I get, I play and I'm having a good time with it. Now for new stuff, that's another question. But I mean, like nothing that's new that's coming down the pipeline is really exciting me to begin with anyway. So yeah, it's kind of tough. Maybe I'm just getting up there in age, but yeah, I would say the stuff that I have, I'm good with. So it's going to be good for a while.
I guess I'll go next. And I mean, I don't want to piggyback, but I mean, that's kind of how I am. As far as the answer to the actual question, See, like right now, for overall, I mean, I can't speak for you guys as well, but I mean, like gaming this year has been a really sour taste in my mouth overall. Like it's rough. I kind of feel like I now kind of have an expiration date. I kind of want to say on even just with new games coming up. Like I'm just so turned off now on new gaming to some degree. I mean, am I going to still get new games up to a point? Yeah, but I mean, once this physical thing goes off, I'm really gonna not be interested in new games because I mean, I know I can do that because I literally took a decade off of gaming, so I know I can do it again and stuff like the whole Xbox One, PlayStation 4 era generation, or basically the second half of PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 5, that whole generation, I didn't play a single damn game. New one, nothing, because I just had things in my life happen that needed more of my time and attention. So I mean, it's kind of sad to some degree, but like Wimbush said, I've got such a stupid long backlog because of said decade off because it's new to me. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking. I never owned PS4 games. Gosh, how many do I even have now? So I mean, these are legit PS4 games that I have physically. And
Dragon's Crown Pro,
I just
PS4. Pick it up.
sure. I have 20 PlayStation 4 games right now. I haven't played any of them yet, just because I can't, but I can now with the PlayStation 5. But I mean, are there some games I'm looking forward to? Yeah, Wolverine looking forward to. Um, for some reason, Stuntman Hollywood looks entertaining to me because I like the Stuntman, franchise, and you get to drive Kit and the DeLorean and some Back to the Fast and Furious cars. And I've heard rumors that with it being Universal Pictures, there might be some Smokey and the Bandit action in there, so that would be pretty slick. But also, just with me going on my retro crusade that I've been doing this year and getting old games back, and then why was this hard to find? Why? Why? And again, like you said, Larson, I had to have the PlayStation 2 copy. I wanted CIB and I wanted the freaking roadmap and stuff with it too. So I mean, I got the whole thing. So, but I mean, have I played San Andreas? Nope, never did.
It's a good
Vice
one.
City. Well, see, I prefer Vice City over, and then I had never finished Vice City. I got halfway through it. I got to the mansion part where you win, you kill all the guys, and you own the mansion. Well, that's halfway point of the game, and then I just moved on. But I think gaming next year, hopefully it's better. I think it should be in a hopefully a better state. I want to be optimistic. I want to be positive. But for me, if it does stay that the same kind of atmosphere we're at right now and stuff, that doesn't really bother me because I'm good. I'm good. You know. Sorry, it's probably not the answer you wanted. You
No,
probably
no,
wanted me to get off. You probably wanted me to get off. Oh, this sucks. I don't like
look,
this shit.
I love angry whales. I love, but I love like introspective whales too. So I'm
Yeah.
good with it. Totally
Okay.
good with it. What do you think, Wolfman?
So I think that the gaming industry is going to continue to suck every year. So I think that already you're seeing less and less AAA titles being done. It's too much money to produce, and just like Will said, I mean, wow, Wolverine's coming out, mid-September. I mean, I don't give a crap about Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I didn't bring it up. I
So,
don't give a
I
shit.
mean, there's nothing I'm really looking forward to next year. And as we talked about in this episode, they're going to continue to scale back on the physical media next year in 2027. So, why? I mean, there's nothing to look forward to unless there's a surprise indie game that comes out that catches my eye. But, like Wales said, I mean, I have enough backlog in gaming for 15 lifetimes, so I'll be fine, more than fine, if I never get another new game again. I mean, I have so many games, it's
Awesome.
like
is the word.
Scrooge
Yeah, no,
McDuck. I'm like
you have
swimming
you have the museum.
games.
You have this dude has a vault 1 and a vault 2. Like that's I want to
jelly.
see it. I know. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah. So
But
I'll go ahead, Wolfman.
No, I don't know if that answered your question. So
It did.
I'm going to go the opposite of what Winbush and Will said. I think it's going to continue to stink. I think next year is going to blow chunks,
Well,
and the year after that it's going to be even worse.
can I ask
ahead.
Wolf real quick? So when you say it's going to suck, are you talking about like in the AAA, like the big three, Nintendo,
Yeah.
Microsoft,
So
Nintendo,
when I
or
say that's what I mean. I mean,
New
I'm not
games.
talking about collecting video games, retro hunting. That's going to be fun. That's always going to be fun. But the idea of, you know, I can't wait for like 5 games in 2027 to come out. I can't even tell you a game that I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to next year. There's a couple games obviously that are coming out at the end of this year that are intriguing, but the big thing is what Dan said, like just even if you are going to continue to buy physical media for PS5, Xbox, I'm not going to say Nintendo Switch because I don't have a Nintendo Switch 2, so I don't know what the game's like for that, but they're just scaling back so much on physical media. It's going to be harder and harder to get games that you want, and it's like, well, what games do I want?
Mhm.
Doesn't sound like there's much next year.
And it's almost like if you want to get that game, you better pre-order it, or you're going to have a very slim
Oh
chance
yeah.
of getting
Oh
it. So I mean,
yeah.
And
it's
be careful
you.
where you pre-order it because they're canceling
There you go.
pre-orders.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
So
so what do you guys think
Shady.
about the indies though? Because I mean, usually the cycle that I see is when the big companies slip up, that's given the opportunities for the indies to come up. But we're already starting to see that this year. Like, there's been a couple of indie titles that have hit like millions of sales within the first couple of days. So do you think, like, I know AAA space might suck, but don't you think that's going to bring about the rise of the individual indie games again and the smaller teams coming out with, like, I don't want to say niche games, but they're going to come out with more interesting games because they don't have, Microsoft breathing down their neck saying we need to make the next big Halo or whatever. It's like they can make what they want, and this what people are actually interested in.
I hope so. I hope you're right, Wimbush. I mean, for every
Mhm.
Celeste and Hollow Knight, there's another 4 or 5 indie games that suck. So, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I mean, I agree with you as far as the creativity and allowing them to put out stuff that big studios aren't breathing down their neck. But, it all depends on, right? I mean, it depends on the quality of game and stuff. So, a lot of variables. I hope you're right. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you're right, Winbush. I hope next year is a plethora of amazing indie titles. But no, we'll
Yeah.
see.
And I see the indies getting into physicals too. Like you have Bitmap Euro, like they're actually releasing stuff on like Neo Geo and Mega Drive, and like they're trying their best to bring stuff out to consoles, which I think is pretty dope. So
I think it's dope too. The price, some of the pricing on some of
yeah,
those things is
I
hard
get
though. But
that,
you got to
but
be willing to,
yeah.
if you really want to support them, you got to understand,
Mhm.
like you're gonna have to pay more for it. But I
What's
like
the
Bitmap
price?
Bureau. Some Bitmap Bureau games are pretty expensive on some of their stuff, but they got great ones. For example, my favorite one that they've ever produced is Xenocrisis. That game
Yeah.
is awesome. But
That's
you
300 for
could
the Neo Geo.
for the Neo
Yeah.
Geo, it's three
Okay.
to $400, and for the
Yeah.
Sega Genesis though, but it comes with the whole like Genesis and the booklet and the insert and stuff. And I want to say it's like $80 or something like that. So it's not crazy, but you got to understand like they're a smaller developer and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean that's
Yeah.
what it is. I will also say, so Wolfman, I got 2 games that I'm most likely gonna pick up. One, sorry, I'm tearing your heart out, but Ocarina of Time remake, or
Oof.
whatever they call it, right? I'm probably gonna pick that one up. I'm like, all right, that one's pretty cool. And then the second one is Resident Evil Veronica. Now, I'm kind of torn for that one. I love Resident Evil. I'm not liking Capcom too much right now. They've been putting out great games, but just recently, if you guys have been paying attention, they just put out a few things where they were like, physical copies aren't really that big a deal. Stop. Like Capcom, that is not what I wanted to hear as one of your biggest
Yeah.
fans. I don't
I'm
like that at all.
surprised.
Did
Yeah.
you not see the backlash? I mean, if Domino's Pizza is giving your company shit and they're
Now,
not even
again,
in you,
proper context, it was a an investor was asking them, what do you think, how do you think that's going to affect? And they were like, well, this is the facts. We don't sell a whole lot of physical, so I don't think there's going to be a huge effect on our market, which is true. I don't like the fact that they just said that and that was it. But again, I understand it, being, kind of somewhat business owner myself. I get why they said it that way. I understand. But so I'm going to answer my own question though, too. So is next year going to be better than this year? I guess it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, if you have a good PC that you can play PC games, it's probably going to be great for you, because PC gaming in general, yeah, it kind of sucks that it's all digital, but there's so many different launchers and different places vying for your dollars to play a certain game, that there's a competition in between them. So it always keeps the prices a little bit low, like that's just how it works. So it's going to be good for you. It's going to be bad for PC if you're looking at hardware, because hardware with data centers and all that kind of stuff, everybody knows that. We're not going to run down that rabbit hole, but hardware freaking sucks. You can still get the stuff though. That's the whole thing. Like sometimes you're like, oh, you're not going to be able to buy any of that stuff. That is not true. Not true at all. I can go on Amazon right now and buy a 2 terabyte hard drive. No problem. I can have it delivered tomorrow if I wanted.
You just got to pay a kidney.
Is it $205 like it was a year and a half ago? No, it's $400. So again, so yeah, it sucks for the money wise, but if you're really looking at it like you can still get these things. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're gonna have to budget a little different and stuff, but that's why I'm saying like the hardware side probably not going to be as good for you. Consoles, if you're talking newer consoles, I think it's gonna freaking suck next year. I really do. Sorry. That's because they're just going to keep getting more and more expensive. By the way, AAA titles are saying they're so much more expensive. Who's doing that? I'm not telling you to spend that much money on those things. Sorry, I'm going to get riled up here for a second. I apologize. I'm not asking you to put that much money into something. You don't have to. You need to streamline, and you need to make make a good game, but you don't have to make a good game plated in gold. Like a toilet is still going to work, and it might flush great, and that's awesome. That's what its purpose is. A game, right? Toilet. I don't need it freaking gold plated. You know what I'm saying? Make me a good game like they used to back in the day, like, and you're going to be just fine. Like what Winbush talked about with freaking Silk Song. Silk Song sold millions of copies of that game. Indie studio. They didn't have to spend $400 million making that game. You are doing that as developers of the games. You don't blame me for your choices. That's all right. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm getting a little fired up. I don't normally get like that, but that stuff bothers me when they're blaming gamers for stuff. You are doing that. I'm not. Well, you guys are asking for better graphics. I am not. Be careful who you're saying when you say you. Okay, so that's it. And then there's not a lot of games out there. I just told you the 2 games next year that I'm looking at. That's it. And guess what? Those are going to be done in February. So for me, again, it depends on what you're looking for. I think gaming and retro is always going to be freaking awesome. If you're looking for the stuff, you're always going to be able to find the stuff. The drawback is it's getting more expensive and it's never going to go back. I already said that. Newer games, I think they've just lost touch. I think they've lost touch with what the gamers want.
Yeah.
I just do. I think they've lost touch with what the gamers want. And they're just like, well, I think that there's too much ideology stuff. I'm not going to even go into that too much. Like, stop pushing like certain narratives and certain things on the gamers. Go back to just making a freaking good game. It doesn't have to be some sort of soapbox moment for you to stand up on some weird virtue signaling thing. I don't care about that stuff. I'm not going to buy your game. Just like I don't go and watch those movies, right? And I'm not the only one. So stop throwing it down our throat. Make good games. Be a freaking good business owner. Be efficient with your money, and you're going to be just freaking fine. You're not efficient with your money. That doesn't give you the choice. That doesn't give you the right, I mean, to charge us more because you guys are deciding that you wanted to make these choices. All right? That's all right. And that's all I got to say. That's how I was going to answer my own question there, because yeah, that's the one thing that fires me up is when we as gamers get blamed, and you're blaming us for stuff that we're not asking for. You can't freaking ask us, like, for example, I just heard this, and I don't remember where I heard it exactly, but this was a good analogy. That's like having a chicken restaurant, or a chicken restaurant. Let's just say KFC. I think it was KFC is what they were talking about. And then all of a sudden you just go, you know what? I think we should start offering steak. rather than chicken. And don't get freaking mad at the people that want chicken that aren't coming back and shopping at your shop.
Mhm.
It's freaking dumb. Like, oh, it's the gamers, just they're the problem. No, it's your problem that you're not putting out good games. It's not a good game. So that's all I got to say on that. Answer my question. So I'm good. Anybody else have anything to say after my? I got to calm down
Yes,
now.
yes.
Go ahead. Wolfman.
So, we talked about Silk Song, and that's a great indie game and stuff, but we have to remember that I wanted that game out so bad, and we had to wait 7 years for that to come out. 7 years. That's absurd. I don't give a crap. My son played it, he beat it, he showed it to me. It's an amazing game, but 7 years? I mean, come
That's
on.
where I wish we had Eric to talk to on the inside, but that's the thing, like where I think that game development kind of lost touch, like Dan was saying. Like if you remember in the 360 PS3 era, you would get 3 games of a franchise in that generation. Now you're lucky to get one. Like we got like
Yeah.
3 Halo
Yeah.
games, we got 3 Gears of War games in the 360 era. Like people forget, like what the original NES had 7 Mega Man games. And those were guys at Capcom that were making it in their free time. They didn't even have Capcom's backing. Like they made it after hours or during lunch break. So it's like
And they
these
made
companies,
DuckTales too, which is just another Mega Man games. Or
And
Yeah, no.
Darkwing Duck.
Rescue Rangers,
Darkwing
yeah.
Duck is just another Mega Man game.
Duck, yep. Just
yeah,
reskin it.
so it's just nuts that they're spending so much time on one game when it's like back in the day, it just seemed like they were more efficient. They were just like knocking them out every 2 years. You would get another
Yeah.
one in the franchise.
You got
like,
3 Grand Theft Autos on PlayStation 2,
yeah, like that's you got what, Vice City, San Andreas, and 3.
and then 3, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Like
yeah,
all
they-
within what 5-6 years apart.
Three
yeah.
Devil May Cries on PS2.
Yeah.
But you know what,
Great
too? I
game.
think it is like back then they focused more on the game. They didn't focus on how can they nickel and dime the consumer.
Market
Because
it.
now when a game comes out, they already have the roadmap and the DLC and the skins already like ready for you to buy. Back then, it's like you didn't have DLC.
There was no microtransaction. That didn't exist.
DLC was the part 2. Like that was the continuation of it. So
Yeah.
they're
And
doing it
Metacritic
themselves.
wasn't as prominent back then, because now, like with bonuses and stuff, like companies want their game to score well, and if not, it's really punitive for the workers, right?
Yeah.
Because they're working on this game, they're millions and millions of dollars. The game comes out and it gets slammed on Metacritic. That's going to hurt sales and stuff. And I don't remember that being like very prominent during the PS2 days. So
No, not at all.
Nope.
yeah.
If you had a good game, you had a good game, and word of mouth
Right.
got out, and that was
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you would sell your game for 2 like a year at least, like because it would start off with the diehards and then it would get out and you would still sell heavy all the way through a year to the next like holiday season. Like it's, they don't do that now. Like you put out a game and it gets some negative feedback and it's done. Your game is finished. Like
Yep.
And I'll say too, that goes to physical, because remember back then, I remember a friend lent me a copy of Streets of Rage, and I went out and asked my mom to buy it for me because he lent it to me. I played it and I was like, I want this. So it's like being able to just physically hand stuff to people or let people try it out. Like that was your marketing right there. That's free marketing, and you can't do that anymore.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, does anybody else have a final say on anything? We've been doing this and rocking for a bit, so I think this is a good stopping point for it. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I just say keep your head up, think positive thoughts into 2027. I think it will turn around some point. It can't keep going down forever.
It's the new games is what I want to. That new game market is tougher.
Yeah.
That's a tougher one.
Yeah.
But for me, as a major retro collector, like Wolfman said, and like you, Winbush too, like, and you Wales, you got all of us on here. Our backlogs are crazy. I have games that I know are good that I'll play again, rather than guessing on an $80 game if it's good or not.
Yep.
Right. So I'm fine. I'm good. Like I still. So I'm just gonna say this. So because D Thomas was talking to me about this just recently. He was like, "Well, but were you really into PlayStation, dude? I got 2 OG PlayStations. I got 3 PlayStation 2, 3 PlayStation 3s, 4 PlayStation 4s. I have PlayStations, right? I have PlayStations. Guess what? I don't have a PlayStation 5. Why? Because the exclusives that they put out there, I was not excited about. And now definitely I'm not excited. Like, I'm going to just flat out tell you, and I'm looking you dead in your eyes. If anybody ever for Sony goes this, look, I don't hate you. Just so you know, I don't hate you. I want to help you. But I'm looking at you dead in your face and telling you, I would have bought a physical PlayStation 5 for GTA 6. Period. Full stop at the bottom. Right there. I would have done that. But guess what you did, and guess what Rockstar did? This guy that has all of your products from back in the past, I'm stubborn enough to go, I won't buy that game from you. I won't buy that game from Rockstar. And I'm not the only one. So
Nope.
that just so we put that out there. Go ahead, Wales.
I'm just hearing man because it's like I'm stubborn too with it because unlike you, I do have a PlayStation 5 and stuff, and I wanted GTA 6. It takes place in my backyard. It's Florida based and it's Vice City. I love it. That's my favorite one of all. I can't wait to see Florida man in an open world do stupid shit because that's what we do. We do stupid shit. And as soon as I saw it, it's like, here's the case. Oh, the art looks awesome. I can't wait. And it's a code. It just crushed me. And I went from ecstatic about the game to just so dismissive. I don't think I've ever flopped like that on a game that fast, that quickly. Like I literally was just like, man, November's gonna be fun I don't care. I don't care anymore. And I hate that I feel that way, but I do. And then they're like, you'll buy it. You'll just sucker up and buy it anyway. Fuck, I will.
Yeah, them telling me that is immediately going to make me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like, okay, watch me not fucking buy it. I mean, yeah, I went and bought this because I needed it, just because I want to collect the franchise. But guess what? This won't be anything. This you're telling me is not going to exist for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, Rockstar already made their money on that. You just helped out whatever reseller you said. They get no money from that. That's yours now.
Like this is the end. This is now in my collection and it's there and it works. But I mean, like I was when the rumors came out that there was going to be, I think the original rumor was like 5 different editions. Like the 5th one was it came with the system and it had something because nothing was confirmed. I was already sitting at the mid tier. I was willing to fork out $120, what was supposed to have been a rumored deluxe. There was the ultimate, the collectors, the deluxe, some other one, and then the standard originally was the rumors that came out in I want to say it was maybe May, June-ish or something like that.
And the Pantheon edition.
Yeah. But I was just like, I'm cool. I'll, with what was rumored to be in them, I was like, I'll fork 120 over and get these deluxes and these extra things on that I'm probably going to use later on in the game. Like I already had a set plan ready to go for that game. And then when it came out and it was like, well, it's going to be $80. I'm like, well, it's cheaper than I thought. Cool. I'm down for it. And then no disc. It's like, poof.
Yep.
And I checked out. And I've been checked out since then. Then they released some stupid third trailer or at some point, or they're going to
for Netflix.
Something's on Netflix.
Yeah, you have to have a Netflix account to see it. Okay. It's only 6 hours is what they're telling you. It's not a big deal. Oh, okay. All right.
That's okay. A pirate's life for me. Anyway, I'm not going to watch it because, again, I don't care anymore. But I hate saying I don't care anymore because I really wanted to. But it's like you, Larson. I'll be stubborn. And I mean, like, I have my ways. Call me a dusty old fart. But I don't care. I'm done.
That $100 that you would have spent on there, that $100 that I would have spent on there, guess what? I'm going to spend it on something else. And it ain't going to be that.
No, it's gonna be my wish list on my retros.
So,
oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
All right. So So this was a great freaking talk. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out. Windbush, man, thank you so much again for taking time out of your schedule. Windbush Gaming, you guys, make sure you check him out. He's amazing. And then you start checking out his other YouTube page, the Windbush page, the stuff that he puts out, the conventions that he's been going to, the stuff that he's been talking to people. He's been showing people all these cool little gadgets that he has that maps your face and stuff. Just check his channel out. Windbush, give us a little plug on your stuff because it's so good. I can't even describe all the awesome stuff you have on there.
Yeah, no, my YouTube channel at Jonathan Windbush. I do tutorials on everything I use in the industry. So like Unreal Engine, Cinema 4D, motion capture, all the like. So if you want to learn how to do this stuff for free, I try to put out tutorials weekly. I've been busy this summer, so it's been a couple of months. But yeah, I would just say also, I mean, we were talking about physical and gaming in general. There's a lot of I don't want to say resellers, but there's a lot of local businesses like the retro shops, the flea markets. I like hitting up on the weekends. Like, go to your neighborhood flea market or your local game shop and buy some stuff from them. Like, you don't have to spend your money with Microsoft or Sony and Nintendo. Like, help out your local retail store. I've been doing that, and you build those friendships, those camaraderies, and they can, they've been telling me games that I missed. I never played the Super Nintendo. I never had one when I was young. Now I'm playing Chrono Trigger, and yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
have these libraries that you missed out on. So there's no lack of games that are out there for you to play. So go ahead and support your local retailers, and yeah, just keep it positive.
Wales, man, you guys need to check him out. Whale of a Time Retro. So again, I touched on it a couple of times. So there's two parts, like the two big whales that we got here. We got Angry Whales, which is my favorite because he will speak truth. He will drop some truth bombs on you. Then you will just be like, "That's exactly right." You're exact. And then there is like what we got today, the more subdued, introverted Wales, which he's the introspective Wales, that he comes out, he's very articulate in explaining what he has to say. He has a unique way of looking at things. Out of all of our friends, he's very unique as far as he's bigger into games that some people would just call, no offense, but throwaway games, like sporting games and stuff like that. He's super passionate and knowledgeable about that stuff, and he brings a different perspective.
Sure.
And I just want to say thank you so much, Whale of Time Retro Wales, for being here. Give us a little blurb about some of the cool stuff you got going on yours.
I appreciate that. I wish I could do better on my channel. I need to. I probably need to put more shorts out there. I'm still locked on split second playthrough. My summer is over, unfortunately, with the job that I do. I'm now back in session, so to speak. So it's going to be tough for me to make content and make the time for it. I'm going to try my best. I need to get that finished. There are new sports seasons coming up. I'm into fighting and stuff a lot, but I'm trying to do playthroughs just so people can watch something in case it's a game they've never heard of, or they've thought about playing it, or they got stuck on a certain spot. At least I'm doing a live. I don't edit stuff. When I screw up, I screw up and we try again, and however many times it takes. That's kind of where I'm stuck on split second. There's a level I'm having trouble with getting it. Like my last recording was 55 minutes up to the second level, and it was just like, okay, I'm just going to try again. So what we're going to do live, because I don't edit. I don't know how to edit. I'm not good at it, and that's fine. But yeah, it's fun, and I'm just creating content to again, I'm in preservation. I want to make sure my stuff's there for my kids and my kids' kids to see. At least this is what Gramps used to do back in the day when we played on the arcade and the consoles. So it's all about the memories that we try to make on my channel.
And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of times these physical items, it doesn't matter if it's a movie physical that you're holding, a VHS tape. I was just holding The Little Mermaid with the bad cover when I was at Andy's place. Just the memories that come up with those things, those games. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it until I freaking die, until I check out, until I do the final cash out, is the physical things that you hold in your hand are not necessarily those things. They are keys to unlocking memories that lie dormant, or memories that you're about to make with, for instance, like memories that I'm making with my kids. So that's a great point there, Wales. And Wolfman, I can't leave you out. I appreciate you more than you know, and you understand this. So as Wolfman will tell you, and I'm just going to say it so you can save your breath, because, with all that carrying that facial hair, I know it's a little bit harder to speak, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but the chat that we're in, the knowledge, the friendship, just his attitude is just wonderful. And I greatly appreciate all the stuff that you bring, not only to me and all of us in this group, but the time that you've taken. You are my wingman when it comes to old school law, for sure. And it would not be anything like it is without you. And I just want to say again, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. And give me a blurb. And I don't care if you talk about just how awesome you are or your sons.
No, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And unlike, I'm still laughing at what you said about the throwaway games.
He's
He'll
not
tell you.
wrong. It's
You
not
know
wrong.
what's not a throwaway game though,
No.
Wales, is Blur.
Oh man, that's see.
Now
and
I turned Wales on the Blur when I was in Florida. That is a game I wish we could all play online because
Man.
that is fun as all hell.
I thought you were just getting bored as hell watching me, but you were just enjoying because I was having fun and enjoying it and stuff. And we
Oh,
were
dude, you were getting so pissed trying to.
because I couldn't figure shit. But then once I finally, it took me about 3 times, but once the third time I figured it out, I started rocking and rolling pretty quick. So
Is
Well,
that
here
good times.
PS4, PS3?
Three.
That's 360, right?
PS3. So here is this is what I want to add, and that is first off, I love talking with my friends. So this is just to me, this is just a hangout session. Oh, there it is, Blur. Yep, he's got it on the screen. It's amazing. I think it's better than Split Second.
It's
I'm surprised they never did a sequel to that
I think
one.
it's
That was
360 too. I think they have it
Yeah,
on
it's on
It was,
360.
yeah,
they do.
360. Yeah,
They do.
absolutely.
because I have it on 360.
I
Yeah,
just
It's a
didn't
good
realize
arcade
it had
racer.
actually licensed cars in it. I just thought it was going to be like Split Second, where it's you could kind of tell what car it was like a knockoff of, but no, this is like legit licensed real cars in the game. So that took me away on it. Sorry, go
so
ahead.
so what I love about this, aside from just talking about retro games and how much we love it, I mean, if Winbush could come to my house and see that I have 15 consoles hooked up to my downstairs TV and another 3 old ones on the TV next to it, that's 18 consoles, you would understand that that's all we do is just play games at my house. I don't
That's
believe,
awesome.
it's funny because there's people that just collect sealed, and I never understood that. Like that's collecting to put on the shelf, but when you're collecting and you can pop it in a moment's notice and play it, it's amazing. But just to get in something real quick, this community here is amazing because we all help one another out, right? So we all have game lists and we're all looking for certain things. And I am so grateful to you, Dantron, for finding me a couple really some grail items, and you were able to be the middleman between you and Andy and send it to me in Wales, and and I enjoy picking up things for other people. Like I just got something for our friend Eric, Super Metroid, and just we're always like looking out for one another, and that's a sign of a cool friend. So I do appreciate that, and I thank you, Winbush, for giving me that that hint on eBay, because I'm looking for that controller. So we're all looking out for one another in one way or another, and that means more to me than anything else. So it's like I don't know. It's like when I go out, I'm going out, yeah, to look for myself, but I'm also looking for like 4 other people. So
Exactly. To me, that's how it is. It's the thrill of the hunt. Like I said, this whole stack I get to hand deliver to Mr. Larson later in September, and I'm super jazzed about that. And then Wolf, your care package comes to me tomorrow. My man got me a PlayStation 1 OG 5000 series with a controller and a memory card, and he shined it up real nice for me. He got that open button fixed for me.
oh yeah,
How
I
much?
cleaned it. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, and a
cleaned it up.
game,
Yeah, oh
like
yeah, and
really
the
ready
game
to rumble.
Ready to Rumble boxing, greatest hits.
Nice.
He threw that in just because he's a solid ass dude, and his hookup at his place in Willow Grove, all that minus the game was a cool $40.
Oh
Yeah,
So I
man,
that was my hookup.
that was the
Yeah,
My
homie
Andy
hookup.
that
was
is a
Dave.
great freaking hookup.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I mean, because the PlayStation alone, dead stop is going around for $65-$70 right
Actually,
now.
Wales, you're gonna laugh. The shipping cost more than what I
The
paid for the,
yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
the
about
whole
right.
thing.
that
Yeah.
sounds about right. So what
Yeah.
happened to if it fits, it ships? That's a
Yeah.
lie. That's a lie. But yeah,
Yeah.
we have other friends on here that have looked out and got games for me. I've got Mutant League Hockey. I've been scoping that game for months. I got it ahead of my way thanks to, again, this amazing community of guys and collectors we got here, and I can't wait to get my sausage fingers onto that one and play that one, because Mutant League Hockey is, if you haven't played it, you're
No,
missing
it's
out, people.
awesome.
You gotta play it. So thank you guys for everything
Yeah,
you do.
thank you. I
That's what
appreciate
That's what
it.
this is all about. Like that's what this is all so, and I've said this before on past law episodes, but that's what this is all about. It's all about just like a community of people. For instance, nerd. Oh, guess what? Wolfman's a nerd. Winbush is a nerd. Wales is a nerd. Guess what? There's lots of nerds out there, and we should be fine with that. It should be more along the lines of like we are. Again, it sounds kind of weird, but we are a family. Yeah, we all kind of bicker and stuff, just like normal families do. We're all a little different. We come from different backgrounds, but if you're a solid person that has a love for gaming or retro or even physical media, there is something you can find to get along. You can be kind, and there's a lot of stuff that we have in common. If you just remember that, try to not let, just like when I started out with this, like there's so many people out there, the doom and gloomers that with their weird thumbnails and stuff, they want to cause chaos. They want to cause strife and conflict between people. Don't let them. Like, be able to look through it and go, you know what? I'm not liking this. Now, informational, all right. But if you feel it pulling yourself down, this is me kind of get on my soapbox for a second. Don't let them. You're better than that. Your friends are better than that. So just remember that look, we all care about you, even though you have never met us before, but trust me, if you met us, we care about you. So just remember that you're not in this stuff alone. It's not the end of the world. And every situation that you're dealing with, there are people that are going through stuff too, and that want to help you. And so I'm just going to say that. And again, until next time, peace.
Peace.